Hi Sunshines, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about the UTown College Programme or UTCP. You know, on this channel I've been doing more hall related and residential college related things, but I haven't spoken much about the academic side of things so far. So I wanted to make a video that covers the basics of what you need to know if you want to do the UTCP, some general tips that I have, and also a bit of my experience doing the UTCP personally. If you're new here, hi, my name is Lydia and I'm a Year 3 Communications and New Media student in NUS. I have stayed at the College of Alison Peterton for 2 years, so most of the videos that I've been doing are based on my experience there, even though I am not currently staying there anymore. So don't mind me if I look down a little bit because all my notes are in here, and let's just get right into it. The UTCP is the University Town College Programme, and it's a 2-year residential program that is for anyone who's wanting to apply to any of NUS's residential colleges. So this is not applicable to the halls, but only for those residences in UTown, with the exception of University Scholars Program or those staying in USP. So for those people, they have a different kind of 2-year program, but for the rest of the RCs, we follow the UTCP. And mainly it's for College of Alison Peterton, Tembusu, as well as RC4. Officially speaking, the NUS website describes it as a coherent delivery of general education, which emphasizes multidisciplinary and active small group learning. And this is because
students from different disciplines, cultures, and nationalities are put together in each class, which helps them to assimilate and synthesize cross-disciplinary knowledge, which facilitates multi-perspectival thinking.
So that is a lot of jargon, but basically what makes UTCP special is that it will replace the general education modules that you'll have to do otherwise if you were not staying in an RC. So once you have accepted your place in the residential college, you are required to fulfill 5 modules within the UTown College Programme, and these 5 modules will replace whatever general education modules that NUS has required you to do. I'm referring to the NUS website, and if you were not taking UTCP, you would have to fulfill the general education pillars: cultures and connections, critique and expression, data literacy, digital literacy, Singapore studies, as well as communities and engagement. In the UTCP, you take 5 modules within whatever college you have accepted. It is 1 junior seminar, 2 senior seminars, and then 2 IEM modules, which stands for Ideas and Exposition. For the vast majority of people in RC, you will be taking all 5 modules, but for the students in med school, dentistry, and law, I believe just these 3, they won't take the full 5 modules, and according to my med school friend, they will only take 1 JS and 1 SS. And for both of these mods, they are pass-fail. In terms of fulfilling academic requirement, this part is more relevant to FASS students because I'm a FASS student, so I will be speaking only for FASS. Even though the UTCP fulfills your general GE requirements, there are still some modules that you will have to take to fulfill the requirement of the faculty. Even though I didn't have to do like a GEQ mod or a GEH, I was still required to take GET 1050, which is a module that Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences requires all of its students to take, whether you're in the UTCP or not. And it is pre-allocated as well, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Other than that, all students, I believe, have to take JER 1000, which is was an experience. It is another one of those mods that you can't escape even if you're taking UTCP, because every single person has to take it. And if you happen to be from FASS and you're watching this, one tip I have is just take your classes in UTown or in Engine and don't take it in FASS. That's all I'll say. The seminar modules are usually a bit more holistic in a sense that you will have more activities and a bit more project work. And also seminars are roughly based on the residential college's theme. So you would know that the College of Alison Peterton is largely based on active citizenship as well as community engagement. Then Tembusu brands itself as the home of possibilities and has a lot to do with like diversity, open discussions and things like that. And of course RC4 is systems thinking. So these seminar modules will revolve around these themes or at least touching on the themes of each college, while the IEM modules are more like essay writing, and they will be taken with students from all of the residential colleges. For your seminar modules, you will be taking them only with the people from your same RC, whereas for IEM modules, you will be taking them with / competing with the students in all the other RCs together. You might be wondering why I'm not mentioning RVRC in this video. It's because I believe they have a slightly different, like their version of UTown College Programme from the rest of the RCs that are situated within UTown, so I won't really comment on RVRC for this one. So I'll talk a little bit more about the seminar style classes now. Honestly speaking, I didn't find that the senior seminars were particularly more difficult in a sense to understand than the junior seminar. The main difference for me is that for your JS, it is a pass-fail. So it is a pretty chill mod and like a very relaxed introduction to the RC modules. You will have finished your JS by year 1, either in Sem 1 or Sem 2. And if you keep watching, I'll have a recommended study plan in terms of the UTCP at the end of the video. But yeah, I felt that the seminars didn't have too much of a difference between them in terms of like difficulty or rigor. As a whole, they're just very fun classes to take because, as I mentioned earlier, they're quite holistic. And when you go through the modules, there's always, or like usually a mix of different activities that you get to do that get you acquainted with the topic, rather than your usual lecture and then tutorial style of classes. And that's one of the big perks of doing the UTCP, is that you get this sort of differentiated or like a unique way of learning that is really hands-on and more experiential compared to the typical classroom experience. So within a seminar, you can have different ways of learning things. Like not only will you be assigned readings, you also watch videos, you do a lot of presentations, there'll be reflections, maybe weekly or whatever, based on what your prof wants. There'll also be field trips, which definitely happened before COVID and all took place. There will be times, hopefully, where you can go out into like real world situations and like observe and conduct your own research. For example, one of the senior seminars that I did in KEPT is called Unequal Parenthood, and one of our graded assignments was that we had to go to like a mall or some kind of public area and actually observe parenthood at work. We'd go to this mall either as a group or like on your own, and then you would just stand around and like really observe physically in real time, like parents interacting with their children and trying to link it back to what you learned in class in terms of like parenting theories, linking our observed environment to theoretical concepts that you would just listen to in class but not really apply to. And like I said, I am not too sure whether this happens in general education modules, but of course the seminars are also tailored to the RC's theme, which is why the RC itself is such an important consideration when you're looking at which residential college you want to apply to, because like the kind of motto and the theme that the RC has will have a direct influence on what modules you're taking academically, and that has an impact on your CAP depending on how interested you are in it and how keen you are to learn the subject, and that will definitely affect the way that you do the module and also your grades eventually. For the ideas and expositions, or IEMs, they are basically essay writing modules. We've already mentioned that IEMs are uniform across all the RCs, so the same pool of IEMs will be offered to TEMBU, to CAPT, and then to RC4. I do want to say that IEMs are tougher than seminars in the sense that it's a little bit more academically rigorous. You will not be having like a lot of guest speakers and projects and field trips in an IEM, but it's more like honing your knowledge in that particular topic and then being able to come up with a very persuasive argument or thesis on it, and then putting that into a very comprehensive and well-written essay. I personally struggled a bit more with IEMs, not gonna lie. The first one that I took was about higher education, basically like concepts related to university and tertiary education, not just in Singapore but globally. And that was a bit strange because I wasn't really prepared nor very keen to learn about the concepts of going to uni, but it was a new module and it was the only one that fit my schedule, so I had to take it. Then for my second IEM, I took a one that's related to politics, and that was also a huge headache. So for sure I struggled more with IEM compared to my seminar classes, but I would say that it was pretty good for learning because, not to lean on stereotypes, but the similar characters tend to apply to the same RC, if you know what I mean. Being able to attend a class where you like listen to and hear out different students' thoughts and opinions is quite eye-opening. It can be pretty valuable in terms of like your education. Okay, so why should you take the UTCP? I wanted to go to CAPT partly because I knew that the mods that they offered was already tailored to what I'm interested in learning with regards to society, culture, and community. Not to say that the general education mods offered by NUS don't have that, but I felt that if it's in an RC and it's a little bit more competitive to get in, that they would be more curated and also helmed by profs that have been mostly there for like quite a while and like know what they're doing in a sense. So that's one plus of the UTCP, that you get an already selected and kind of like chosen set of modules to pick from that is tailored to your interest. A second thing that I quite like about the UTCP is that the class sizes are relatively smaller than what you would get in a GE mod, which may not directly correlate to a higher quality of education, but it does mean that perhaps the prof can spend a little more time giving feedback to each student individually, and also more time and opportunities for like me, myself, or you to speak up during class and have your thoughts and opinions heard by other people. I also really like the idea of the seminars, the fact that it's more of a hands-on experience and it's not as dry as any other class that you'll be taking within your faculty, and also that you can share this experience with the people that you are living with. It's like another chance to bond and like create memories together, like attend classes together with the people that you're staying with. I thought that was really, really fun. Moving on to the last part, which is my recommended study plan. I think the optimal plan would be as such. For year 1 Sem 1, you take your IEM 1 and your JS, because as we have said, JS is pretty much the easiest UTCP mod you will ever take. It's pass-fail, it's a seminar, all you have to do is have fun and try to learn as much as you can with not much stress, whereas IEM 1 is like the introduction to a more rigorous kind of academic writing, and you want to like pad it out with something that's more relaxed and fun to do, following which you can just alternate the 3 remaining mods. Year 1 Sem 2, you do 1 senior seminar module. Your Year 2 Sem 1 / Year 2 Sem 2, you can alternate either your IEM 2 or your remaining senior seminar. So that would be the best plan, but obviously not everyone can get it. If you happen to not be able to get this plan, then don't worry, it is all fine. I personally took an IEM 2 alongside an SS and it was okay. Like, it was honestly not that bad. If you can, I would advise that you take your Year 2 Sem 2 mod to only be an SS, so just finish everything first and then end off with an SS so that you can enjoy like your last term in RC if you don't senior retain, being a little less stressed and more and better able to like cherish your last few months. And a big no from me would be to do both IEMs together. I don't think I know of anyone who has done that so far, but it just sounds absolutely killer. I would not recommend it under any circumstances unless you're in somehow dire straits and you need to do it to graduate. But yeah, just don't try. If you need module recommendations, particularly for CAPT, I know the CAPT website has just launched a new reviews page for their modules, which is a great initiative launched by CAPT Publicity, and I'm very, very proud of them. So if you want that, do go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, that's all I have for this week. I hope I covered most of the things that you should know about the UTCP if you're interested or if you're already inside. If I missed anything out, just feel free to comment down below, and if not, I'll see you very soon. Bye!